Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta. Hi, everyone.
We're so excited to be with you today. And as always, we're grateful if this is your first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are conscious women who love having a conversation about life, things going on in the world, and we address everything through love and kindness. So if that's the space you're looking for, we're your girls.
Okay. Yes, thank you for that, Gloria. And we have a lot to chat about today. So we want to jump right in and talk about the teas that we're drinking. I'm drinking a nice one that I've had before. If you are a regular, you'll know that we've had this one before. And mine is an organic sour sop tea by Pure Sour Sop. And it's an Asian fruit, and it looks like this. And the ingredients are, hold on a minute, I'm going to quickly grab my reading glasses here. Uh, it's a native tropical fruit in areas of North and South America, but is cultivated in tropical climates around the world. And the ingredients are organic soursop leaves dried. And that's it. That's one ingredient. And I have two tea bags in there, and that's what it is. All right. What are you drinking, Gloria?
And I'm drinking this tea by Tazo, and it is a wild sweet orange tea. There we go.
Thick.
Get more of it in there. There we go.
I
The
love orange.
ingredients, yes, the ingredients are lemongrass, blackberry leaves, citrus acid, rose hip, spearmint leaves, turmeric for color, riboflavin flowers, natural flavors, rose petals, natural orange essence, ginger root, my girl's favorite, licorice root, and licorice extract. This smells amazing. So I did Rosetta's trick with two tea bags. So cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Hmm. All
Love
right.
it.
So let's get started. As always, our thoughts and prayers go out to the universe because we have got to learn to love everyone so that we can live together and thrive. If we can love one another, then I think the planet will be better. It'll be so much happier and it'll stop doing the things that it's doing right now. So today is National, there's four or five. I selected National Potato Day. And not necessarily the healthiest aspects, but I wanted to highlight things that I know people will gravitate and people actually eat. Potatoes. Number one, McDonald's offers russet Burbank potatoes, which is loved by their customers. People think those are the best French fries on planet Earth. Lay's is a brand of potato chip owned by PepsiCo, and it is one of the largest recognized consumer chips. So whether they're baked, fried, mashed, potatoes are throughout our food chain.
Exactly. And it's nice to have, I like the potatoes when they actually make them. You go to some places, they make the fries from scratch. You can see them like In-N-Out Burger. They have the little
Yes,
potato thing. So I like that. That's really
I
good.
do
And
too.
I myself like sweet potatoes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, it is also soft serve ice cream day. So soft ice cream day known as soft serve. And it doesn't matter where you are, you'll always have people that say, no, I like ice cream, I like soft, but some people say I like soft serve. Now, what is the difference between regular ice cream and soft serve ice cream? You're probably wondering. Now, regular ice cream is a bit harder. So you need to leave it out if you're buying it in the pints or whatever container so you can scoop it. Soft serve is exactly what it means. It's soft. So you don't need to leave it out to defrost. Um, the way that you make ice cream, regular harder ice cream and soft serve is how you whip when you're making it, there's a process to whip it. The more air you put into the ice cream, the softer it becomes. So that's why soft serve is called soft serve because it has more air whipped into it. So whatever style of ice cream you like, go ahead and eat that today. If you like soft serve, then go ahead and get that. I sometimes prefer soft serve over ice cream. There are days when I prefer that. I don't eat a lot of ice cream, but when I do, there are some days that I prefer soft serve. So that's soft serve ice cream day. Go ahead and enjoy some. We also have for your birthday, we have Kira Sedgwick's birthday today. And you may not know who she is, but you'll know who her husband is. Her husband is Kevin Bacon.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things that she's been in, but what I know her for, and I don't know, you probably know her for something else, but I know her for the show on TV called The Closer. That's what I used to love
Yes,
watching.
yes. I still watch it sometimes if I can't fall asleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was great in that. And that's when I really got to know her. But I was
Yeah.
looking online and she's done so many movies and shows, but that's the one that I know her for, and for her husband, Kevin Bacon. So happy birthday, Kira Sedgwick.
Yay.
So we're going to move on to a topic that we have been discussing throughout for quite some time now, on and off on our chats. And it's about well, I don't want to say the second thing first. I want to say the first thing, and you'll know when I say it. So, I want to talk about some medications that are on the market that originally came out at the very beginning for helping patients with diabetes. Now, do you remember way back in the days, there was a commercial of this slightly overweight gentleman with glasses, and he was advertising Ozempic. Ozempic was one of the first ones that came onto the market. And he talked about how it helped lowered his blood sugar levels. And a great side effect he had said on the commercial was, "It's I've also lost a few pounds, lost some weight." So
Mhm.
I'm thinking that was the start of people jumping on the bandwagon, thinking, wow, if this is helping people lose weight as well, let's market this product as a weight loss product. So as time started going on, we started seeing different brands and companies coming out with weight loss medication. Instead of talking about diabetes, which they did for a while, that commercial was on for a while, they started having commercials just for weight loss, like Monjaro, Wegovy. I'm sure you've heard all of that. There's many big, big brand names, and it's all under one umbrella. Well, what we want to talk about is since time has gone by, there's been so many people jumping on this bandwagon of losing weight. And I feel that a lot of the people, maybe it's a great thing because along with diabetes, there are a lot of people that need to lose some weight. And with the weight loss, it's helped with their blood sugar and a lot of decreased inflammatory markers that have shown up on blood tests within people that have diabetes, which means, what does that mean? It means that a lot of the inflammation has started to um, decrease in their body. And you know, inflammation is the root cause of all chronic disease. So, what they've been doing is they've been marking this as a weight loss, and there are people that have been taking it that don't really have any issues. Well, their issue is within themselves of wanting to lose weight and have that amazing figure that everybody strives to have. And it doesn't help because women get really bad young kids. They're seeing more and more celebrities going on these weight loss pills. Well, these medications right now. And they're thinking this is who I'm looking up to and I need to look a certain way. And there's a lot of celebrities going on them. Um, my thing I want to talk about really is not about like, yes, you can get on it. if you have the right amount of money, the finances. But I really want to talk about now is some of the side effects and who this drug is really for. Because we do hear a lot about these, and we want to make sure that we are actually talking like from research and who. So I've been looking at a YouTube channel by Dr. Jen. I forgot her name now. I'm blanking. Dr. Jen Ashton. She used to be on Good Morning America, a doctor, and she's talking about these weight loss medications and who they're right for and some side effects. And I really want to go over just very briefly who this medication is for. So these medications, any basically, which one of the things which annoys me is that anybody really can take it if you have the money. Because if you're rich enough, you can ask your doctor to kind of prescribe it for you. But what Gloria and I feel like more too many people are taking it for no reason because you don't really need to. We've been seeing people that don't really need to take it. But the people that Dr. Jen Ashen said are the ones that are number one candidates are people that have health concerns or health issues, specifically diabetes, and to make sure that you go and discuss it with your healthcare professional. This is not something that you should just be buying or taking over the counter on your own because it has to be monitored and you have to have your doctor guide you through this with all the downfalls and all the upsides. So I'm going to go over some of the risks that you can have with this injected medication, whether it's for weight loss or diabetes. Diabetes is slightly different because your doctor will actually, you can't really go on it for diabetes unless you've spoken to your doctor and they've given you pros and cons and they'll go over that with you. So some of the risks um, that we know that have been, not everyone gets the same kind of side effects. So it's not a cookie cutter thing where if you take these medications you're definitely going to get these side effects. No, each person is different from individual to individual. So one of the main things that we see with a few main things is pre-existing um, side effects people are experiencing are nausea, which a lot of people have been, and that usually comes, what happens is these side effects happen within the first few weeks. So a lot of people, they can't tolerate these medications. They decide they can't, they can't stand it. So they decide to go off these medications. But nausea is one of the reasons why a lot of people get off this medication and why they choose to discontinue. And then most of the time, it's limited to the first 4 to 8 weeks of taking the medication. It can be managed. The side effects can be managed. The nausea can be managed through using the lowest dose and making sure people don't eat too much to trigger the nausea. So what happens is, if you, I don't know who you're getting these medications from, these injections, but what the doctor should really be telling the, their patients is that when you are taking the injectables, not only should you start with the lower dose, you should also be eating correctly. So a lot of people think it's a quick fix. So what they do is they're injecting themselves, but they're not changing their diet habits, daily habits of what they ingest in their body. They're just staying the same or keeping the same level of food they ingest, which, guess what happens if you eat too much food? You're not going to feel well. Along with this medication, you're going to get nausea, which is a really big one, which doctors don't tell you. The second is that there are some people experiencing, well, not just some, because Gloria can testify to this, more than not, you can get weight, muscle mass loss, lean muscle mass loss, or what they say is overall lean mass loss. It's not just the muscle, it's overall mass loss in your body. And it's actually affecting not just your muscles, but it's the bone, the organs, systems, and water dispersed around the body. And this is a real risk and real concern. if anyone is on GLP-1 medication, considering taking it, loss of lean mass is an important and consistent side effect. This is coming from Dr. Jen Ashton. She's saying this, and it's caused by sustained weight loss, including the use of GLP-1. So normal people do get this, but more so with GLP-1. There are a few studies um, with data on the long-term consequences, particularly with regards to muscle function and bone density. So people with conditions of overweight and obesity are at risk of gallstones and some kind of infection and inflammation to the gallbladder, as well as the muscle mass loss. So, what they do say is what doctors should be telling the patients is not only take the GLP-1, but you have to really consider the foods you're putting in your body and also muscle when you're doing muscle resistance, when you're doing resistance training. So that has to be coupled with taking the GLP-1. A lot of times, another risk, and this it's not even a risk, I would say it's almost always that when you take GLP-1, you're losing weight. So, what are you doing to put back the nutrients you've lost in your body? So you really have to, I would say, consult a specialist, a nutritionist, a dietitian, a health coach to maintain the nutrients you're getting in your body, because there's a lot of times we're seeing people that are taking GLP-1 and they're losing the nutrients, like the vitamins in their body, because they're not putting enough in their body. You want to do that along with all the healthy lifestyles, start a program on resistance training. That's very important so you can stop the muscle mass loss and the mass to the rest of your body. So those are some of the side effects and who the GLP-1 is for. So I want to talk about now. We've come across lately this new thing where people don't want to take injections, and now they're coming out with a pill form. Now, I did some research on the pill form and versus the injectables. Now, the pill form is not just, okay, I'm going to take a pill, it's a quick fix. It's not, because there is reasons to take the pill and reasons to take the injections. Now, I'm going to give you the what the difference is between the injectables and the pills. So, injectables are weekly shots, and it's once a week. And you can take this with or without meals, and you can take it, you can inject yourself any time of the day. So that is the convenience of the shots. Now, the pills, they're daily pills, not just once a week like the shots, they're daily pills. Once a day with terms and conditions. Now, the terms and conditions are you have to eat it, you have to take the pill on an empty stomach in the morning, and you have to drink it with water, and you can only have up to 4 ounces of water. It also has to be taken at least 30 minutes prior to a meal, drink, or other oral medications. So they're saying that if you are a person that is very good with consistency, you can do a routine, a schedule, you're very regimented, by all means, you can go ahead and take the pill. However, if you're a person that cannot stick to a routine or a regimen, it's best to do the weekly shots. And don't forget, if you are a person who likes to wake up and have first thing in the morning a cup of coffee, it's not going to happen if you're going to take the pill. You can forget about the cup of coffee in the morning, because it says again 30 minutes prior to any food, drinks, or even other medication you are taking. So that's a lot of work. That's what I'm going to say. But I would say that both the GLP-1 and the pills, they have been doing some good things for people. And as I mentioned, they have been actually their A1C numbers, if people are taking it for the right reasons, like for diabetes, they are actually lowering the inflammation markers. They are actually decreasing the A1C levels. And we know that once the A1C levels come down, the decrease of inflammation markers, then you're going to, in long term, you're going to have less risk for chronic disease or any illness that might occur if you are doing it because you have diabetes. So that's just a quick overall thing I want to talk about. It's quick, but it's not that quick, but it's quick. And I was going to go over some of the new medications that are coming out that are in pill form, but I'll just talk about one of them. The major one is the Wegovy oral pill, and it's the major one. There are many others, and I Forbes actually did a comparison of all the different pill forms that you can take, and you can look that up yourself. They compare them, they rate them, they tell you how much it is, and you can do all that research yourself. The other thing Gloria and I want to talk about is also people that we've been seeing, and we're not sure if they're on any of these weight loss medications, but we've been seeing celebrities, and we've noticed that originally they looked good because they've been losing weight. And some of them have been doing it the natural way, weight loss, diet, exercise, just eating right, having a healthy lifestyle. But then all of a sudden, it's day and night. One time we see them healthy, next time they're just all of a sudden it's like, what has happened to you? Overnight, we see that they look different. And you may have heard this term, Ozempic face. They have the Ozempic face, where their face, the bone structures are much more defined. Their cheeks are sunken in, their eyes are sunken in, their bodies, because I told you the risk is body mass loss, not only in the muscles, but also all over your body just looks very weak, very thin, a loss of mass in your bodies. Um, yeah, so now this is what we wanted to talk about, and you can take it with, um, I'm trying to say, with discussions with your healthcare professional. So these are all the risks, all the positives, and what you can weigh it out for yourself. So I'm going to turn it over now to Gloria because I've been talking a lot to see what she has to say about this and anything she wants to add.
Um, I actually know a person who was put on Ozempic because she needed back surgery. And she was a curvy girl, and they wanted her to drop a lot of weight really fast. She had a bad experience. She was nauseous. She would scream in pain because her back hurt so bad, but the medications also made her sick. So it was like a two-edged sword. She was able to sustain to get her back surgery, and all of that is better. However, you have to be so careful with these GLP-1 medications. I know Oprah was on a regiment, and she lost the weight, and she thought, okay, I'm good and done. I hike 5 miles a day. I eat clean. Everything's good. And she started, she shared with us all, I gained 40 pounds back. So this is something that's a lifetime commitment. I also agree with Rosetta, the shots versus the pills. You can take the shot anytime during the day. Just take a shot and go on about your business. When you're on the pill, you have to like empty stomach, no food, no water, nothing. And then when you take the pill, you need to try and take it consistently at the same time, day after day. And like Rosetta said, minimum amount of water. So I like water. So you're supposed to take a little bit to get the pill down and then nothing because they say that the pill is, I guess you could say, once it gets inside the bloodstream, the acids, your internal acids start to break it down. So because the stomach acids break down oral medication, it requires a higher dose than the shot. So you need to be aware of that. That's something that I don't know if people realize. So as an example, if you want to lose 20 pounds on Ozempic. Typically, you would take it for 3 to 6 months. Results will vary depending on your starting weight, your dose increase, your diet, and your exercise habits. You have to have diet and exercise habits to make this work. And maybe that's why people are looking so taunt to us, because it's like you're just taking it, it's just falling off of you, and it looks different. So I completely agree with Rosetta. It is a lifestyle change. It was meant to help with type 2 diabetes, and they found out that it helps you lose weight. They also recently added it to Medicare. So now seniors can get the shots for, $50 a month. So it is something that's around. I agree. More research has to be done, especially on the pills, because the pills went through clinical trials and then hit the market. And I think more research is required.
Yeah, yeah. And it's sad to see that all a lot of celebrities are doing it for vanity, not for the
Yeah,
right reasons. And they do, and we do get concerned when we see them because it's like day and night. One day they're looking healthy, next day you look at them and they're all like gaunt and sunken
yeah,
eyed, and then their body looks just very, very well, they've lost a lot of body mass, not only muscle,
yeah,
but body as well. So it's scary to see.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm a purple girl. I love, love purple. Well, we have a local NWBA team that's called the Golden State Valkyries, and their theme color is purple. Well, on Monday, the Valkyries was in a basketball game against the Dallas Wings, in which they won 78-70. Yay!
Hey,
This clinched their into the playoffs. Now, in 2027, when there is the NWBA championship, it's going to be hosted here in Northern California. As a matter of fact, San Francisco, California at Chase Theater. So that was recently announced. So that's fantastic. And oh, it would be awesome if the Valkyries made it and they got to play in the championship game. And then for the second time in a row, on Monday, the Valkyries moved into the playoffs, and they are the first expansion team in WNBA history to reach that milestone in the first 2 years of their existence. So the girls are doing really great. Their games, all their games are sold out. They sell tickets for standing room only. And my nephew loves it so much, he buys the standing room only tickets so he can go to the games. So congratulations, lady. That's awesome.
that's fantastic, fantastic. And looking forward to next year as well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to updates we've been doing on Nolan Wells. Now, as time has gone by, we haven't been really hearing too much about what's been happening, but what I can tell you is that now we found out the NAACP is now joining the Nolan Wells family's legal team. And they've decided they want to do this because they want to. They're joining the team, which already includes Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, and they want to be involved because they want to push the truth and transparency. So that's the main reason why they're joining. Now, Nolan Wells' family finally is now saying they're ready to turn over Nolan Wells' phone for DNA, and they want to reach a an agreement of when they're going to meet, and it's meant to be sometime this week. So they're asking for clarification of location, and both sides are going back on from when they had originally mentioned they were going to turn over the phone, which was July the 15th. So basically, that's the only really new update that I've heard, that the NAACP is joining the legal team of the Nolan Wells family, and the family decided to turn over the phone, But not only have they decided to turn over the film, they want to make sure that it's a joint investigation from both sides, not just one party doing it. So they both want to be there when the investigation is happening. So that's all we have for Nolan Wells right now. And if you know of anything, put it in the comments if I missed anything. And I will keep doing updates because I want to know what happened, and I'm sure everybody else does.
Absolutely. And, you know, just from the perspective of a, Black mom, I just don't believe in my heart that he decided all on his own, I'm going to stay back with people I don't know instead of staying with the people I do know. So Rosetta's going to stay up on top of it and we'll keep sharing information with you all. Can you believe it? It has been 4 years since we learned that Celine Dion was suffering from stiff person syndrome. She tried to continue to sing and do concerts, and it just got the better of her. Well, I am very, very excited to share that she is preparing for her Paris comeback concert on Saturday, September 12th at
Fantastic.
the Paris La Défense Arena, located right outside of Central Paris. And she is also within and on the cover of Harper's Bazaar magazine, wearing some fabulous fashions. So if you like Celine Dion as much as Rosetta and I do, I hope you'll check out the magazine. And I hope if you can attend the concert, I know it's going to be amazing.
I know, too bad it's not local because I know that when she first announced that she was having these concerts, they sold out very quickly. She had to
Yes,
add some new dates, more dates to her concert tour. But I
yes.
remember back in the days, I joined her Celine Dion fan club online so that I could get first dibs on tickets to her show, her residency in Caesar's Palace, way back when she first started. Amazing, amazing. So if any of you have tickets, you are so lucky, and I hope you enjoy the concert.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, we have some sad news to announce, and I'm sure you've heard it, but if you haven't, Hayden Panettiere, she is a very gifted young actress. She was known for her roles in Heroes and Nashville. If you don't know who she is, she actually passed away very sadly, suddenly on Sunday, August the 16th, this past Sunday. Police and the emergency responded to a report of an unresponsive female at 1:51 p.m. on Sunday, and it was when she had suffered a cardiac arrest. So preliminary no foul play was at hand, but resuscitation efforts were not successful, and she was pronounced deceased at 2:32 p.m. Now, on August the 17th, which was on Monday, there were sources that told People magazine that Narcan was found at the scene of her death. Now, Narcan is usually used for treatment to reverse the effects of life threatening opioid emergencies if you've taken an overdose. But very sadly, it did not help her, and she passed away, and she leaves behind, which is very sad, an 11-year-old daughter. So that's really sad. And I found out that also not too long ago, her brother was very young, like 28 years old, 28, 29. He had passed away as well from some illness. So that's really sad for the family. Now, if you know of anyone struggling with any of these mental health illnesses, need to talk to someone, emotional like distress, substance abuse, please, 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 there's a 24 hours, 24/7 hour hotline. You can text 988 or chat at 988 and you can get help. Or so if you know of anyone, please, it's important to try and find them help. 988. You can text or chat at 988. And rest in peace, Hayden. You were very, very young at 36 to pass away.
Yeah. And her birthday is actually Friday, this coming Friday, where she would have been 37. She had been in the industry for 30 years. So that meant she said that even at one point, she was just a baby and she was already being, marketed as an up and coming, wonderful little actress. I remember her a lot from the movie Remember the Titans, where she was a little girl and she played against Denzel Washington. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. And the movie was all about racism, and it was a very, very difficult subject, but she did a great job. She was in Heroes, and I also loved her in the television show Nashville because she was a singer, and you got to see what it was like just growing up in that industry. So when the North Carolina paramedics responded to the 911 call, they said it was for cardiac arrest. Um, I know that this morning on the CBS News, Gail King and her team said that she wasn't in the apartment by herself. Brian Hickerson and her boyfriend, Zach Hickerson, were in the room with her. Um, Gail King had just done a interview with her because she released a book, a memoir in May. She just released this book, and it was um, just very sad. She said that they also found a bag of pills, which were turned over to the police. So that part was, there's more to come. There's a lot more to learn about what's happened in that room. So Gail King was a little upset about a comment that was released by Hayden's mom, and her name is Leslie Vogel. And Leslie said, I think Hayden was an amazing, talented person in so many departments. And I think young people who grow up in the entertainment industry, it is a struggle and it's very challenging industry. It's not unusual for them to sadly find the wrong path. Gail was upset. She's like, your daughter is gone. And instead of you talking about the good times, you're talking about the possible negativity side of the business and the industry. The mom also said that Hayden and her brother were now back together. So I'm sure more is going to come up about this. It's just a matter of time because it's just shocking. She's only 36.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was a combination of um, her experience of I'm trying not to, I mean, it was drugs or opioids and postpartum depression. That's why she signed over her daughter to her daughter's father because she wanted to make sure she would never do anything to impact her child's life negatively.
Yeah, and I wonder why you said Brian and her. Was it who else was in the room with her?
Zach, yeah,
Zach.
Brian and Zach, yeah.
So I wonder if they were there. I don't know what they were doing there, why they were there. So
No, we don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll hear about it.
yeah.
Yes. So, um, it's really interesting. Back in the day when we were going to school, we got out in May and we went back to school the Monday after Labor Day. We had, at least 3 months of fun. That's not happening for kids today. So all the kids are going back to school, a lot of them now. As a matter of fact, across the United States, 84% of public school students return to class before the end of August. With nearly half starting by mid-August, regional traditions vary because southern and western states often start in early August, while eastern and mid-Atlantic districts frequently wait until after Labor Day. So here in California, our kids will be returning to school before the end of August, and that's pre-K all the way up to college. Parents are dropping their children off last week and this week because classes start for most of our students next week. So I was like, why? Apparently, a lot of the teachers now, they have meetings that they never had before when we were in school, like teacher conference. So if they take a week off for a conference, they have to extend the school season by a week. So every time there's something that's added, it pushes the date. And I would think as long as the classes were still going on, if they had sub teachers, why am I being penalized because you have something going on? So I'm sure our children are like, wow, you didn't go back until after Labor Day? No, we didn't.
I know, because I remember when we went back, it's like, okay, Labor Day weekend's the last time to have a vacation before we go back to school. That was when we knew school was going back in session. But I'm looking, yeah, last week, this week and last week. But what was weird was I was looking on Facebook and I saw some families saying their kids went back beginning of August, the first week of August. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. First week of August? It's crazy.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
after Labor Day to the last week of August, now the first week of August. Crazy,
Yeah. It's
crazy.
like they're losing a month.
I know, I know. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I'm wondering, those kids that went to school the first week of August, did they get out the last week of May? Because we got out like the first week or second week of June.
Right. Right. So I hope you all had a great summer. And in preparation for going back to school, remember, start rolling your clocks back to where you get up earlier and earlier. So it's not such a shock when mom says it's time to get up and you're like, no, I got at least another hour. And no, it's time to get up and get ready and get started. And may you all have a fabulous school year.
Yeah.
So we're still experiencing weather situations. I know on Monday we had another earthquake in Indonesia this time, 7.7. Once again, devastating results. Um, as of Monday, I think it was like close to 70 individuals were deceased and over 200 individuals were hurt. So it's something that's just continuing, right, Rosetta?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, these weathers, we just came off the earthquake from Colombia. Now we have this one in Indonesia.
Yeah,
It's just it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, God, I'm not even thinking about anything in California, Northern California, because we have earthquakes as well, but we've never had huge ones besides 1989, and that wasn't as big as what we've been seeing in Colombia and Indonesia. But
yes,
not only that, but we've been seeing this past Saturday. There's a late arrival of Hurricane Lala. I'm
yes,
thinking, where do they come up with these names? Lala. That's just I don't understand that, but it's weird. But it was Lala was no small hurricane. She was one that destroyed everything. And the island in Hawaii that got hit the biggest was the Big Island.
yes,
Devastation. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. Rivers. I couldn't believe the videos I saw of all those rivers all over Hawaii. They were
yeah.
aggressive.
46.9 inches of rain. Just let that sink into your head a little bit.
Yeah, because if you think of a house, you get like what are they, 9 foot ceilings, and if they're higher, the high cathedral ceilings. Could you imagine? That's
Yeah,
crazy. And like over 200 flights were canceled, and rivers surging, and just devastation all over, making it really, hard for anyone. It was so last. They said that it was so last minute that they couldn't really. like prepped to evacuate for this because it just came all of a sudden. And then now Hurricane Lala is not done. It's making its way, well, it was making its way towards Oahu and Maui. And I
Yeah,
heard that,
still is.
yes,
Still is.
still is. I heard Oahu had quite a lot of destruction and devastation happening to them. Crazy. I'm just praying because we know that, or me, Gloria and we talk about this a lot about the global warming and how things have changed over the last, I would say, over the last 10 years. It's not been the same. It's been
Right.
pretty, hit and miss, up and down, not knowing from season to season. Are we going to get 4 seasons in the year? Are we going to get one season in the year? It's
Yeah.
crazy, crazy.
Yeah. Even, now when we look at it, um, we didn't, I mean, yes, we are having triple digits, is still going on, but the winter was kind of mild. However, they said here we have enough rain, we shouldn't be in a drought. And then we started having wildfires. And then, it makes you very, very cautious. So the hurricanes, you know, that was something that, it used to happen off the coast, like Florida, off the coast of Hawaii. It didn't always come inward and smash, towns like it's doing now. I mean, how can you get out of the way of 46 inches of water rolling toward you? They showed some of the homes because Hilo and Kona were the most impacted, and the houses are just gone. People all over the United States are losing everything they worked their entire lives for. And it's just really, really sad. So yesterday, the lower portion of the United States, from California all the way across to Florida, is in a heat dome. Oklahoma, there were lightning strikes, and those lightning strikes caused a building, a gas plant building, to catch on fire. In Indiana, the water is finally starting to recede a little bit. There's more than 1,000 families that have lost their homes, and they're being provided shelters until they can figure out what are they going to do. In Atlanta, Georgia today, it's going to be particularly hot. I mean, it's like everywhere you can think of is hot, and it's triple digits. So, like Rosetta and I always say, we've been talking to you about global warming forever. And for people to say it's just weather, maybe people are going to wake up and realize this is not just weather. This is devastating. And what can we as human beings do to reverse whatever it is that's causing this planet to be so volatile right now? Because this is not good.
Yeah, exactly. It is not good. So we will in future chat. We want to make this a really big topic because who's going to talk about it? Not many people have been talking about this. We did have Greta Thunberg come from Sweden,
Yes,
and she got the young kids on the bandwagon of global warming. But after that, she's gone back to Sweden. What has been happening since then? So no one in the US has really spoken up about this, and we need to speak up about this. Yeah, we really
yeah,
do.
yes, we do. All right. That's a lot. And I mean, I know you can feel the intensity of the items that we're talking to you about, but we just want you to know that on one hand, we have a health crisis with all these GLP-1s, and on the other hand, we have a planetary crisis with all the severe weather patterns. So, most importantly, when you can do something, try and do something to make it better. Don't just think about it, do something, make a change. So, we want to thank you very much for hanging out with us to the end of our video. We gave you a lot of information to review, to think about, and we hope you learned something new. we want to let you know that we're very grateful for you hanging out with us. We feel the love you send to us, and we send it back to all of you, bubbling over.
Bubbling
So we
up.
want you to take that and go out and share it with the world.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, everyone. We loved our teas, Silicon Valley
Yes.
Girls. And we just want to say we are Silicon Valley Girls, chat over tea. But before we go, I want to remind you, if you stay till the end, thank you. And please hit that thumb icon. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and hit the bell notification if you can. So you're the first to be notified when our chats are ready to be seen. All right, again, we're Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. And
And
remember
remember
to
to
always
always
keep
keep
smiling.
smiling.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, take care, everyone.